Hi everyone, Craddock here. I have a quick video guide on a Tarasha speed farm build I put together in the PTR. This is going to be an Aether Walker In-Geom build, which is a pretty interesting combination. I found it works quite well. It's pretty fast of a speed farm. It's not quite as fast as you would see with some of the builds with Wand of Woe, but if you hadn't found a Wand of Woe, you still need to farm for it, right? So this is one of the builds I think might be pretty good, pretty fun to use while you're looking for your Wand of Woe and you have low Paragon. This video was filmed at only 200 Paragon allocated, so it's very quick. You're basically spamming your abilities with In-Geom proc, and then once you find an elite pack, you go right up to them and you blast them with electrocute. It's very satisfying, and hope you like it. Let's go quickly into town and examine some of the gear and some of the skills. So here we are in town. I bet by now you're wondering, uh, why the hell would you put Aether Walker and In-Geom together? Well, it seems counterintuitive, but actually produces quite an interesting speed build. So since we have both of these bonuses, we still get all the damage and resource from In-Geom that you would see in an In-Geom build. So we're using Frozen Mists and Explosive Blast. These will be cast continually. We also have 100% uptime of Diamond Skin. We slot enough cooldown in this build to get that level, and this will give us the resource we need in the build to cast both our Teleport and Explosive Blast continually. In addition to other resource management from either Arcanaut, or you could switch this out for Power of the Storm if you wanted to. And in addition to that, we also have Apocean Source. Quick note, Cosmic Strand here isn't just slotted. It will reduce resource cost of teleport, but it's also here for mobility. Because the Wormhole Effect rune reduces your cooldown on teleport to nil for 1 out of every 2 casts, this is a great tool for movement. So you can just spam it and move around quicker than you would without it. Additionally, we've got increased movement speed from Illusionist to help us get around a little more as well. I found, uh, since we have a lot of damage up close, you're going to use Audacity. This is the most efficient way to get cooldown, so we're using Evocation here. You also have Unstable Anomaly. You could switch this out for Galvanizing Ward if you wanted to for that extra shield. You could also, for more damage, you could opt for Elemental Exposure here. But I found the Second Life was probably the best bonus for this build, and especially since you're already getting the shielding from Diamond Skin. That's a very nice bonus. So, primary nuke, Arc Lightning, does 310%, a whopping huge amount. This is boosted by 2 of our items. We've got the Shamadel Seer, increases the attack speed of signatures, and will also give us arcane power regeneration. And then we also have the Depth Diggers in the cube. This is a huge one, like doubles the damage of our signatures. This turns this into our primary nuke, so you're going to be teleporting around, you're going to have your casting your abilities at will, and then you come to an elite group and you just nuke them down. And then you hop to the next elite group and you nuke them down. And what this does is it procs your In-Geom. It also will eventually, like the proc rate on this ability, Electrocute, is not very high at all. It's pretty abysmal actually. So if you wanted to opt for a higher proc rate ability, you could go for Unruined Shock Pulse. This has a very high proc rate. Or you could go Throne Blade, Spectral Blade. I didn't really like Spectral Blade the way it interacted with this build, but you could use either one of these abilities, and these would do very good damage and have higher proc rate as well. And what are we using that proc rate for? Well, we're getting, one of our gems is Lethal Lightning. This does a lot more damage in 2.4.1 than it did previously, so this is going to be a huge bonus, but our other gems happen to be damage over time gems. So we've got the gem of efficacious toxin, it does damage over time. We've also got the pain enhancer on crit, it will do huge amount of damage over time. So we're using the interaction of Wreath of Lightning to help us spread these two damage over time effects. Uh, Frozen Mists also helps that very well since it has a fairly large area of effect. It will help spread these two as well. So to continue with the theme of damage over time and sort of helping that out, we have the Firewalkers in this build. So you burns the ground you walk on, so it's a very small effect. It's kind of like 5 yards, but it's enough so that like when you're standing next to the Rift Guardian or standing right in the middle of a pack of enemies, it will contribute damage, and I found this is the best bonus for this build. You could opt for something like Illusory Boots. This may help you move quicker. I found you didn't really need the bonus from something like Nilfers, though. It's too slow. The meteors are too slow for this build. But as you saw, or as you're going to see from the video, even at only 200 Paragon, this is a great setup to use. And I'm very happy with it, and I hope you like it too. So quickly, let's go over in general, some of the affixes you're going to want with this build. You're going to want minimum 40% cooldown. Rolls on gear would put you at a max of 42 if you had perfect rolls. I do not with my current setup, but this will give you permanent uptime of your diamond skin, which is all you need. So shoot for that amount, and this would be cooldown from Evocation, Paragon, and then also roll on the shoulder. One roll. So it's very flexible as far as gear is concerned. You know, you really don't have to have too much otherwise, but something that I found that does help with the build is a lot of area damage. So if you can stack area damage in the spots where you don't have other crit or crit hit damage rolls needed, then that would be very beneficial. So for example, I've got, my gloves, my rings as needed, or as I could fit in. You could opt to increase the breakpoint of your electrocute. You could opt for attack speed on your chest and your weapon. This would be huge benefit for electrocute nuke breakpoints, but I didn't opt for those with the PTR setup I just slapped together. So I hope this helps you out. I'll be posting a full write-up, and yeah, enjoy.